Okay, good morning, everybody. Today we'll start with the next module, module 4. Okay. So, what is the module 4? It is about the preparation of project and ERP. Okay, Enterprise Resource Planning. That is ERP. You must have heard about the ERP tools. Okay, that are ready made available, which can be used, and we'll come to know what is the meaning of the enterprise planning ERP, and based on those ERP practices, those softwares are created. Oracle Financial is one example. Siebel, earlier Siebel was there. Then PeopleSoft. Those are the softwares which are implemented based on the best industry practices that are used in the enterprise resource planning. Okay, preparation of project and ERP. We'll understand what is the meaning of the project. In the previous sessions, we talked about the idea, the idea generation or the opportunity identification of the opportunity. Then comes the next phase is the project. So we will understand what is the project, how to identify the project. Once you identify multiple projects, how to do the project selection, and once you have the proper project selected, this is the same format you are going to use for the your final year project. How it will be, this report would be a little different from your academic project report. This is with respect to the entrepreneurs, with respect to the industry, how you have to prepare the project report. We'll see into this project report what all the things it will contain, and this particular part will be very very useful for you if you are planning to start or understand how the startup will work. Okay, this is the exact like I would say, like 80% of the projects would kick off using this methodology, and this is the way the any enterprise will be set up. So what you will do is, like in the final year project, you will make your team, and you will be assigned with the guide, and then you will propose 3 to 4 idea. It depends on the guide. At least 4 to 5 ideas you are going to propose, and out of 4 to 5 ideas, and after having a discussion with the guide, checking the feasibility, checking the dependencies, whether it can be done or not, technically it is possible or not, then what you will do, out of like the 4 5, you will finalize 2 to 3. That is like identification. First is the identification. Out of 10 ideas, you come up with you will select 4 to 5. Okay, once you select 4 to 5 ideas, then comes the selection. Out of these 4 to 5, which one to be selected? So there are various criteria why you will choose a certain project. Okay, it depends on the entrepreneur. It depends on the demand. It depends on the market condition. There are various factors, maybe availability of the raw material. So based on these various reasons, you will finalize out of those few projects. You will select one project. So similarly, in the final year, out of 2 3 project which came out of the about 10 ideas, you will finalize, you will select one particular project out of 2 to 3 finalized projects. And when you are selecting, you will use various criteria to select particular one. Okay, in case of your final year project, the interest could be like you want to work in certain domain. Let us say you want to work in networking, or you want to work in a machine learning related or the data science related. You want to work in a mobile application development or web application. So your motives would be like that. or you are comfortable with certain technology. You in the sense the whole team. So those are the reasons why you will choose. Or there could be other reasons, like whatever the project you are thinking about, it will be useful to the society. So that is another big reason to select it. Or you are choosing a particular project which is very challenging. Okay, I won't say difficult, which is very challenging, complex, and you can participate in the competition, and also that will help you in your profile. Being done such a project, you will have a lot of credibility. Maybe you will get some jobs based on the what kind of a work you have done in that particular project. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then you will create the project report. Project report in this particular module, it is different, and earlier project, it is as per the VTU guidelines. That report would be different. Uh, you will have most essential part of how you design it, how you build it, how you do the coding, what is the technology, explanation about the technology, the different kinds of testing you will perform, right? Black box testing, white box testing, test use cases, right? All those results, screenshots, things like that you will include. Here, project report, it is more focused on, we will see that into detail. I told you about the project report earlier also. One of the most important thing about this project report is you you want capital, right? You want investors. You will use this project report, and maybe for any reason, for the raw material, or if you want to negotiate with somebody which will help your project, the only document that shows your idea what you want to do is your project report. So looking at the project report, any investor will come to know what you are planning to do. And also you will include certain things like a return on investment. If they invest, how much returns they will get, what are the benefits you have choosing that project, what would be the market demand, things like that. All those will be listed there. You have to do the study and you have to put it. All those things will be included in this project report, and that project report will help you in getting the resources, including the capital. Also it will work as a guideline which will be able to help you in setting up that particular enterprise. And difference between your final year academic report and this report is, here once you have the idea, from idea you will come up with a few projects, and out of those few projects you will finalize on one, and you will immediately make the report out of it. Okay, even though it is not yet implemented, you will make a report of that. In your final year project, what you will do, you will first, like, report will be done in a phased manner, and once all the work is done, the final report will come at the end. So that we are going to see here need and significance of the project report. So whatever I said so far, what is the requirement for a project report, and what is the significance, and what are the contents. And there are some government agencies which, like a planning commission, they provide guidelines on what the report should be. Okay, formulation and guidelines by the planning commission for project report, what should be included in that particular project. The guidelines are there, we can follow that guidelines. And some of the banks, they require you to follow the planning commission guidelines when you are making a report. Next, in the enterprise resource planning, that is ERP, first we will understand what is the meaning and importance of the ERP. And in ERP there are many functional areas. We are going to see the functional areas of the management. For example, marketing or the sales, supply chain management. Marketing, you know, what is the marketing? Marketing is like making people aware of your products, okay, and trying to get the business. So increasing the business or increasing the market is the job of the marketing team. People will, once marketing team gets the order, sales people or the sales team will execute the actual sales. Means they will give the product and they will receive the payments. Supply chain management. What is supply chain management? Supply chain management is, you would require the raw materials for your enterprise or the project. How you procure them, who are the vendors, how you identify them, how you zero on particular vendor. So all that is a supply chain management until, like, you make the product, until it comes to your warehouse or your industry. So that is the complete supply chain management, how you are going to manage that. Then finance and accounting. So it's all the finance aspects and accounting aspects of the particular company is taken by the finance and the accounting. For example, like all the transactions that happen, all the payments we receive, payments we give, the bills we pay, all those are will be taken care by the finance and accounting department, because they need to, at the end of the year, every company is required to generate a financial report, to say like what is their profit, what is their losses, so that they can file the income tax returns. Then last one is the human resource department. So human resources, they mainly deal with the human resources, acquiring the human resources, training them, and making sure that the human resource needs are taken care for particular organization. So that is the human resources. Types of reports and methods of report generation. This is, we'll see what are the different types of reports and what are the different methods to generate them. First, we will start with the project. So, meaning of a project, uh, many people have given it in a different way. We are going to see that what is the project. An entrepreneur takes numerous decisions to convert his business idea into a running concern, right? So this is one of the definition of the project. What is a project? Entrepreneur, he takes many actions, he carries out many activities, so he will convert his idea, whatever the business idea he has, into a successful organization. So that is the meaning. His or her decision making process starts with the project or a product selection. So the decision making is a part of this process. At every stage you have to make the decision, right? When you have the couple of ideas, out of those ideas, how to convert them into projects, you have to make the decisions. And out of the selected projects, you want to select one or two, again the decision making process will come into, you have to justify why you are making certain kind of a selection. So decision making processes, all the throughout the life of the organization, decision making process has to be carried out by the entrepreneur. The project selection is the first cornerstone to be laid down in setting up an enterprise. As I told you, we have to, entrepreneur has to finalize. Okay, he has to select one project. When you come to the final year, out of many ideas you have, finally you have to do only one project, right? So the project selection, that is the first cornerstone, that is that will be laid down to start an enterprise. The success or failure of an enterprise largely depends upon the project. So, the what kind of a project you select, what kind of a decision you make for selecting certain project, whatever the decision making process you follow, once you finalize the project, irrespective of what decision making process you are selected, finally the success of the organization or the enterprise, it will depend on the project. If project is successful, the organization will be successful, otherwise it will be a failure. That is the reason when we are selecting a project, we have to be we should thoroughly understand the different aspects which are involved in the selection of the project. For example, like raw material. If there is a constraint on the raw material, such projects are very risky because uh, or raw materials are regulated by the government agencies. Again, there is a risk involved. Raw materials are you are dependent on the other countries for the raw material. Again, it's a risky because the countries governments will change, policies will change. So you have to think in terms of a project which will be the success rate is higher, right? Every project has a certain success rate. You have to assess it properly. If you assess the project success properly, then it will be a success for the enterprise. Otherwise, it is a big failure for the enterprise. The popular English proverb, well began is half done. So that is the, once you select a very good project, half of the work is done. So that is what the proverb said, well began is half done. Applies to project selection also, indicates the significance of a good beginning. When you have a very good project in your hand, the success rate is very high, the half work is done. That is the importance of the project selection. So will that is the project giving some idea. Actual definition as per the dictionary meaning, project is that is a scheme, design, a proposal of something intended or device to be achieved. So what is a project? According to the dictionary meaning, it is some kind of a scheme or a design, a proposal of something intended or device to be achieved. So what we want to achieve, that is the meaning. And Newman and his associate define that a project has typically has a distinct mission, that is that it is designed to achieve, and clear termination point, the achievement of the mission. So according to the Newman, what a project is, a it has a distinct mission, okay, that is designed to achieve it. It has a certain mission, and it is designed to achieve it, and with a clear termination point means with a clear end, the achievement of the mission. So with whatever the mission, there is a design to achieve that mission with a clear ending, and by achieving that mission itself is called as a project. Next one, Gillinger defines project as a whole complex of activities involved using resources to gain benefits. So, what according to him, it is a complex activities that will be taken care, utilizing all the available resources and gaining a benefit, making a profit out of it is a project. According to Encyclopedia of Management, a project is an organized unit dedicated. Okay, attendance I haven't taken yet. I will take at the end. Okay. According to Encyclopedia of Management, a project is an organized unit dedicated to the attainment of goal, the successful completion of a development project on time, within budget, in conformance with the predetermined program specification. So, according to the Encyclopedia, what is the meaning? It is an organized unit. Okay, it's an organized unit which is dedicated to the dedicated to attain the goal, whatever the goal is set, to attain that successful completion of a development project. It should be well within the time, on time. The project should complete on time, as well as with a budget. If let us say that project is budgeted for like example like 1 million rupees, it should get completed within that particular budget. It should not exceed. Okay. And in conformance with a predetermined program specification, means it should conform to whatever the specification that was set earlier. It should conform to that, and it should complete on time within the budget. That is the according to the encyclopedia. And there is also one organization called the PMI, Project Management Institute. and this information is very helpful for you. Once you, let us say you join the IT industry, and after working as a developer lead for a couple of years, you gain experience where you can handle the project. So you can become a project manager and you can execute the IT projects. When you get into the project management, there is a one important certification that is called as a PMP, that is Project Management Professional, and it is a very well recognized certification in IT world. You can go through many profiles where they are PMP certified. That is Project Management Professional. It is given by the PMI, that is Project Management Institute. According to PMI, what is the project? Project is nothing but it is a process of creating a unique product or service which has a definite start date and which has a definite end date. So according to PMI, what is a project? Project will create a unique product or service. Always when projects are executed for creating something unique, for example, one building, that's a project. So it is unique with its structure, and it will begin with a certain start date and it will complete with the end date. So according to PMI, project is a unique process of creating a unique product or service which has a definite start date and definite end date. That is the meaning according to PMI. Now, a project can be defined as a scientifically evolved work plan devised to achieve a specific objective within a specified period of time. If you see most of these definitions, everywhere they have given importance for the time. Okay, it should complete according to the time. And the second main criteria is the budget. It should be as per the set budget. It should not exceed the budget. Project can differ in their size, nature of objectives, time duration, and complexity. So, project can be might differ in size. Small project, examples, your final year project, or large project, very complex projects, setting up a huge factory, and their nature of objectives, what objectives they are implemented, time duration. Some projects will take maybe a couple of months. Some projects will take a couple of years. Suppose if you want to set up a hydropower plant, also by constructing the dam. So it is like we are talking about 5 to 6 years of work. So that is a time duration and complexity. Complexity, some projects are huge, may not be very complex. Some projects are they are not very huge, but they are very complex. For example, you can think of any project which is related to the space. Okay, ISRO launching a satellite. It is a very complex, right? Because it is heavily dependent on the how each and every component, how they work together is the final success. So the complexity involved is very high. However, projects partake of the following three basic attributes. These are the three attributes of the project. A course of action, there will be a certain course of action that is planned. Very specific objectives. Objectives are very specific. They are very clear with the objectives. Definite time perspectives, right? Definite time perspectives is what, like when will what will get completed, so that it will be helpful for the tracking. Time factor is very important as far as the projects is concerned. Some of the government projects you must have seen, like constructing a road or a dam. If a project delays, right, then the estimated cost will increase. You must have seen many projects, they get delayed, the cost will increase. Initially it is planned for like let us say 100 crores rupees, and proper work is not done, and there is a delay. Then they will revise. When the time set by them changes, the project will get revised, the budget will get revised. 100 crore project will become 150 crore or 200 crore. So executing projects on time is the most important thing. Every project has a starting point and end point with a specific objectives. So this is this is true for any project that is being done. And what is a project? What a project is a once you create a unique product, the project is done. Project is complete. Means, for example, third gate, they are making a flyover. There was a definite start date, and the project will get carried out. And at the end of the project, a product means the flyover is built and the project is complete. In case of IT industry, this is exactly the same. Suppose a particular client wants certain project to be executed. They give the requirement, a project starts, IT project starts. You start working on the project, a design phase. You will high level design, low level design. Then you do the coding, testing. Everything is fine. You get the user acceptance test done. Client approves. Then this code for the goes for the deployment where the actual business users can use it. Once the production deployment is done, the project is complete, and you will be in project as long as the project duration is, let's say, for 6 months. Then you will be in that project for 6 months. After the 6 months, you will be relieved from the project. Means you will be the whatever the team that has been formed at the beginning of the team, that team will be discarded. Means they will go and find some other projects. So when you complete one project, you have to look for the another project. That is how it will go. And what happens after the project is complete? So once you build the, I gave an example of a IT project. You build some kind of a product, and once the project is complete, the team work is done. Then it goes into operation phase, right? After that particular phase, it goes into operation. And what is an operation? Making sure that your product runs successfully without any problem every day. For example, railway ticketing system. Once the project was complete, the user started using the railway reservation system, and operation team is sitting there making sure that that particular railway reservation system is working 24 into 7 without any problems. And they have to do regular maintenance, right? Patches, if the patches is required, they will do that. And let us say there are small changes required by the user. Those small changes will be done. That is the operation activity. Once the project gets completed, then it goes into an operational activity. Suppose if 100 people are needed for completing the project. I'm just giving a example. It could be, it depends on what is the size and complexity of the project. If 100 people are there for the project, executing the project, once the project is done, maybe 5 or 10 people are required to do the maintenance or the operation work. Project classification. Project classification helps in expressing and highlighting the essential features of a project. So the classification will help in expressing and highlighting what are the essential features of particular project. Different authorities have classified project differently. So the project classification is done in a variety way. Some of the important classification that are done are like this as listed here: quantifiable and non-quantifiable projects. So quantify, some projects are quantifiable. Quantifiable means you can put in terms of a quantity. You can give some kind of a numbers. Let us say after doing this particular project, the amount of revenue will increase by 20%. Okay, you can put it in a figure. Maybe it is 20% or 25% or 15%. But certain projects are definitely you can quantifiable. Another example, let us say you build a power plant, hydropower plant, and that power plant will generate so much of power. You can put the maybe 100 megawatt or 200 megawatt. So you can quantify. There are some projects which are quantifiable, and some are non-quantifiable. Non-quantifiable, you cannot put that a number for that particular project. What kind of projects are non-quantifiable? Mainly related to the society. Whatever the projects that are carried out to benefit the society. For example, illiteracy. That particular project, maybe that is quantifiable. Anything related in the healthcare, right? Helping with the health conditions of the people. If any projects are executed, for example, the nutrition in child and women, okay, to boost that they take up certain projects, and it is very difficult to quantify such the output of those projects. Those are called as a non-quantified projects. So quantifiable and non-quantifiable projects, both will have some kind of a benefits, right? And projects are executed for the main purpose of getting the benefits. As we saw some in many definitions, benefit is the most important thing. The benefit, what we are saying here, whether we can put a number. In non-quantifiable, we cannot put a number. General feeling, a good feeling, okay. Increase in happy people, increase in healthy people, so that is a non-quantifiable. Such things are non-quantifiable. Then sectional projects, we can put into different sectors. Those are the sectional projects we will see. And techno economic projects, so technological and economical projects. Those are the three main categories. First one is a quantifiable and non-quantifiable projects. Quantifiable projects are those in which possible quantitative assessments of benefits can be made. Okay, as I told, quantifiable projects are those where you can make quantitative assessment, numbers. You can get some kind of a numbers for whatever the benefits that is generated. In non-quantifiable projects are those where such assessment is not possible. So non-quantifiable, we cannot put the benefit in terms of a number. That is non-quantifiable projects. Projects concerned with the industrial development, uh, power generation, mineral development fall in the first category. So the projects which are related for the industrial development, let us say one of the thing I told about the government policies is to increase the small scale industry sector, okay, MSME, micro small and micro medium and small industries. In that case, when they take out certain projects to bring a development in that sector, they can quantify how many SSI units started. They can put that in the number. That is how we can see those are the quantifiable project. Power generation, we know what amount of a power will be generated, so that is a quantifiable. Mineral development, we know how much mineral we can produce. Those are the quantifiable, where we can put the numbers. While projects involving health, education and defense fall in the second category. Defense is, for example, like if you know, like India is making lot of projects in the border areas, right? In the Ladakh regions, a lot of infrastructure has been infrastructure projects are been executed. So there you cannot put that in the numbers, right? It is for the national security. When it is about the national security, I cannot put a number there. So those projects are required. Those are non-quantifiable. They fall in the a second category, that is non-quantifiable projects. Sectional projects, here are the classification based on various sectors. So according to the different sectors, we have projects. Suppose if there are projects that are executed in the agriculture or agricultural related, food related, whatever, those come into this particular sector, agriculture and allied sector. Agriculture projects may involve direct agriculture or whatever the produce you get. Okay, you must have seen many food processing projects, right? Where you will work on the produce and you will make some other kind of a product. So those kind of projects fall in the agriculture and allied sector. Next one is the irrigation and the power sector. So whatever is related to the irrigation and whatever is related to the power, those will fall in the irrigation and power sector. And this sectorial representation can be done at whatever the level. If you want, they want to segregate, they can segregate. So government will come up with a different kind of a sectors. Okay, they will list out the sectors. And why they do the sector wise projects is there will be some kind of a advantage in certain sectors. For example, certain sector, if I say IT sector, India is making a huge revenue in the IT sector, and there are certain sectors where we are dependent on other countries, or certain sectors are not progressing as much. What government will do is they will identify such sectors, they will encourage whichever is the sector which is not lagging. How they will encourage, we saw earlier, by giving out a capital help with the capital, help with the land, help with the setting up the businesses, or tax benefits, things like that. So they can target particular sector. Industry and mining sector, all the industry related activity and all the mining related activity. Mining is like where you will try to find the raw material for the different kinds of metals. That is the mining activity, that will be classified under industry and mining sector. Transport and communication sector, so whatever is related to the transportation and whatever is related to the communication, they fall into this category. So for example, transport, any projects that is carried out in like a railway line, putting a railway line, setting airport, setting up a harbor, or anything related to the transportation will fall in this. Communication, any kind of a communication related to, whether it is a mobile related communication or other kind of a communication, all those projects fall under the transport and communication sector. And this is information technology sector, we know it very well. IT sector, anything related with the software, software products, software development, software maintenance, all those come under the information technology sector. This is huge, it involves networking, databases, operating system, all those will come under the information technology sector. Then miscellaneous, whatever doesn't fall into this will be put into the miscellaneous sector. This system of classification has been found useful in resource allocation at the macro level. So the reason I told you why such classification is done, some kind of a resource allocation you want to do, or you want to identify sector wise how India is doing according to these different sectors. India is doing very well in the transportation IT sector, and India need to work on transport and communication sector, things like that. Agriculture sector, we can give agriculture, since it is a this sector is the one which generates the highest employment. This particular sector should be made always as strong as possible, and policy should be rolled out according to the sectors. So that will benefit the sector-wise projects, sector-wise enterprises, and they will be encouraged to focus more on their production. Techno-economic projects. Okay, classification of projects based on the techno-economic characteristic fall in this category. So whatever is the technology and economic related characteristic, those projects will fall into this category. This type of classification includes factors, intensity oriented classification, causation oriented classification, As discussed below, there are this classification has three categories: factor intensity oriented classification. Factor intensity is what factor is the highest intensity, right? Whether it is the raw material, abundant availability of the raw material, or the demand for the particular product is important, or the market conditions, which factor plays a highest intensity. So based on that we do the classification. Similarly, we have the causation oriented classification. What cause the projects are based on the cause. What would be the cause? If it is based on that, then it would be a causation oriented classification. And magnitude oriented classification, magnitude here is what scale it is, whether it is a large scale or a medium scale or a small scale. Based on the scale we classify, that classification is called as a magnitude oriented classification. So these things, the factor intensity oriented, causation oriented, magnitude oriented classification, we see in more detail in the next class.